All right, so we'll take a little bit of time to talk about how tropical systems originate as we head into the core summer months of like September, well, more so probably August and into September. We really have to look far out into the Atlantic Ocean where storms tend to originate coming off of the African coast. These are just sample systems that we're going to be looking at. A tropical depression can form almost right away as it comes off of the African coast, or it at least tends to, as conditions really become more favorable in the open waters to develop tropical systems. So as it happens, it becomes a tropical systems, or a tropical depression rather, with winds of about 38 miles per hour or less. If it does strengthen, it can become a tropical storm. This is where the system would ultimately get a name. And we can have winds, say, between about 39 and 73 miles per hour as this does keep traversing over open waters of the Atlantic Ocean. If it does continue to strengthen, it can become a Category 1 hurricane with winds between 74 and about 95 miles per hour. This is where it really does start to get its act together. But if it does continue strengthening, it becomes a Category 2 system with winds, say, between about 96 and about 110 miles per hour. This is really where we do start to have significant impacts with coastal flooding if a system does start to interact with land at about this point. But systems can get even stronger than that. We can get a Category 3 storm. This is where a storm can have winds between about 111 and 129 miles per hour. If it gets this strong, it becomes officially a major hurricane. This is where damage really becomes quite significant with land interaction, but usually they don't stop here. They can run up to Category 4 storm status with winds between about 130 and 156 miles per hour. Land interaction with a storm this strong can really be catastrophic, but they can get even stronger than that. They can max out at about a Category 5 strength with winds 157 miles per hour or greater. In history, in recorded history, there have only been 4 named systems that have reached this status. The Labor Day hurricane of 1935, we also had Camille, Andrew, and most recently, Michael at Category 5 strength. But there are limiting factors as well with tropical development. If a weak system interacts with what's known as wind shear, which is the change of wind with direction and speed with height, that can help to shear away the system and really weaken it pretty significantly, especially a low-end tropical depression or a tropical storm. Now, a hurricane interacting with wind shear can have similar impacts, but it can just take longer for it to weaken, or not necessarily dissipate, but certainly lose its intensity. So wind shear really can be an inhibiting factor with tropical development in the open waters of the Atlantic. But another aspect that we really do pay attention to are the ocean temperatures, the sea surface temperatures, if you will. I've put some sample totals up here, and you can see here as we look into the Gulf of Mexico and into the Caribbean, anywhere where you see temperature at least 80 degrees or higher, that is prime condition for tropical development here in the open waters. If you have temperatures a little bit below 80 degrees, development can still happen, but it can happen either very slowly or just kind of maintain its status. So really, we need ocean waters at least 80 degrees or higher for that development to take place. But once you get into the mid-70s and beyond, tropical systems really cannot develop with ocean temperatures at that temperature, shall we say. So 80 degrees and higher and little to no wind shear really is what's needed with tropical development in the Atlantic.